Thanks for the introduction. How's everyone doing tonight? All right, so I am an amateur gambler. My name's Mike. I'm going to be giving a little story here about gambling. Just obligatory bio. I'm here on my own free will. I'm not here with a company right now, but I like numbers and data. I am in a room of data scientists. I am not a data scientist, so please take this at a very high level and use it as tools for more exploration. So we're going to be taking a look at gambling lines here. So the first question, of course, is what is a line and who cares? So I like to think of a line as crowdsourcing that predates the internet. So as an American, I'm going to be using American football examples here. I know, boo. But what you have is you have two teams. So say the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New Orleans Saints. And there's a bookie right in the middle taking money on both teams. So you have the bookie wants to get the same amount of money bet on both teams such that the losers pay the winners and then the bookie takes some off the top. Well, when more money is bet on one team, the line has to move. So in this case, and this is an actual case, the bookie is giving the New Orleans Saints 2.5 points. So what that means is the Steelers have to win by 2.5 points in order for the people betting on the Steelers to actually get the money, and the Saints get 2.5 points added to their score. So if you bet on the Saints, you would get 2.5 points. How did this end up? Well, in this particular case, the Steelers actually won the game, but they won 27-14. So they covered the spread. The problem is that the public got it way wrong in this case. So that's what I like to refer to as line bias. And what line bias is, in my terms, is the difference of scores plus the actual point spread. So in this case, you take the difference of scores, you see that the bias is actually 10.5 points. And what that would mean in practical terms is that the Steelers beat the spread by 10.5 points, so they were underbet, and the Saints would have needed 10.5 points to beat the spread, so they were overbet. So that's all well and good. So what can we do with this, and how is this interesting? Well, I found some guy on the internet. I don't know why he was religiously keeping track of all this, but he had spreadsheets, hundreds of spreadsheets of data on all of this. He had all of the lines from 1978 on for the NFL, as well as all the results. So I threw that into a database, and I looked at a few different types of biases: home and away, team versus team, and then just overall team biases. Very, very high level analysis of it, and nothing too detailed. I was looking at moving averages, but let's take a real life example. So this past Sunday, the 49ers played the Panthers. The 49ers were favored by 6.5 points. So how did I come to those two teams to take a look at? Well, I looked at all of the teams for the past 9 weeks and saw if there were any biases in the point spreads. And I saw that the Panthers were moderately to heavily underbet, whereas the 49ers were slightly overbet. So I said, okay, well, this is a pretty good game to take a look at. You have an underbet team and playing against an overbet team. I took a look at overall biases, whether or not there was a home bias or an away bias this season. Again, this is a 5-week moving average that I took a look at. There wasn't any overall biases. So then I said, well, what about when they faced each other? Well, when I took a look at when they faced each other, the 13 games prior since 1997, I saw that the 49ers were consistently overbet in head-to-head matchups. So that kind of created a perfect storm where you could say, okay, well, let's bet the Panthers, because the Panthers are consistently underbet as a team, and in head-to-head matchups, they're underbet against the 49ers. So what was the end result? Anyone think I won? The end result was that the 49ers had 9 and the Panthers had 10, so I actually won that one, except I didn't put any money on the game. So I ended up a loser. That is why I am an amateur gambler and not a professional gambler. And this is one of the rare times I won money in one of the worst pictures ever. So actually, this type of thing does tend to work. These types of analyses. This is a great sports writer in the U.S., Bill Simmons. He talked about home teams with state-of-the-art stadiums, and he found some interesting things in the line there. And he wrote about it in 2008. So there are lots of opportunities to dig into this data. I encourage you all to do so in much more depth and look at different biases and look at different types of bets and use it to your advantage. And hopefully all of you can be going to this place and placing some bets and making some money. So thank you very much. It's been great.